normal clothes. Most wore them like sacks, as if to emphasize the garment's ugliness. Hers swept down from her shoulders like a fashion accessory. It was the statement of a woman who had decided she was going to look good in a garment she was forced to adopt. Her eyes swept the room. She was still in shadow. Maybe I imagined the look of anxiety, like a woman having arrived for a meeting she'd tried to avoid, with her ex-lover, her accountant, half hoping that a last-minute schedule conflict, perhaps even an emergency, had forced them to stand her up. Then she stepped forward into the light. My ex-wife used to tell me I was out of touch with my emotions. I'd had reason to keep them under wraps for the past few years. I recognized Helen the moment I saw her face, and the shock immobilized me. She looked like memory come to life, unchanged. I sat stunned as she strode to my table, smiling the fresh-faced smile I'd loved and almost forgotten, leaving the Indian waiter fluttering in her wake. Her walk was the same, impulsive, as if aiming at a target she didn't want to miss. She held out both hands, happy and welcoming, as if I'd never left her, and greeted me with "Dia Whit." She'd always been proud of her Gaelic. I didn't remember what it meant, but I managed to stammer a hello as I rose. It's not safe to indulge in public displays of affection in Saudi, but she kissed me on my cheek, and even the smell of her skin was familiar. "It's grand to see you again, Stephen," she said, sitting down, "and at such short notice. Thanks so much for coming. I'm sorry I'm late, but we were stopped twice at checkpoints. It's impossible now to avoid them." I stared at my past sitting at the table in front of me. Of course it was an illusion. To get a grip, I tried to identify the differences that a decade must have made. I tried to see her critically, looking for time's evidence. Her voice, perhaps, was not so strongly Irish. I found my own. I had to say something. She'd mentioned checkpoints, and said, "You're a diplomat's wife. Why would the police stop you?" Her eyes widened. She said, "You've only been back for a few days?" "I arrived in Manama a week ago." "A lot's changed since your day, Stephen. But one thing's still the same. This is a very small town. It would have been indiscreet to come to dinner with you in a car with diplomatic plates. I took a cab. The police took their time at the checkpoints. They like to ogle Western women." Saudi cops ogling Western women, a detail of local culture I'd forgotten. "I'm based in Bahrain," I said, "a civilized Arab country. At least, relatively civilized." "I'm envious. We used to go there often, to the clubs. Until the U.S. Navy pulled out, and the bombing started on this side of the bridge, and the State Department included Manama on the travel advisory. Now we mostly stay on the compound. This is an outing for me." She glanced around at the stained and faded Chinese restaurant. She said, "I haven't been back here since you left. I'd heard it was getting shabby, but I didn't realize. We'd better order. We don't have much time. The curfew's at 9. I signaled for the waiter. The Indian shuffled over and handed us 2 greasy menus and 2 glasses of Saudi champagne, non-alcoholic, on the house. I wondered if the cuisine would be any more authentic than the decor, or the help. Helen ordered, and I followed her lead. I couldn't take my eyes off her. After the waiter left, she slipped off her abaya. Underneath it, she wore a simple short-sleeved dress. Her figure had changed little. She was slender, with a column-like neck, square shoulders, and breasts that were full but not heavy. Her complexion was milk-white Irish. She had sensitive hands, with long, elegant fingers, but with wide wrists. Her features were those that Americans think of as classically Irish, but which in fact represent the peak, not the average, of Irish beauty. The red hair, could it still be that naturally red? The rectangular, firm-jawed face, the aquiline nose and bold eyes. How old was she? I remembered she was 10 years younger than me. She had to be almost 40. My career's been in finance, in risk assessment. Training took over, and like turning the knurled barrel of a lens, the present came into focus. Helen sat